So Noelle, this is the last Norman news of the semester.
And also the very last Norman news of this year.
That's crazy because we've done 18 Norman newses so far this semester.
And so this will be the 19th Norman news going into 2019.
Well, since this is our last holiday show, what are your thoughts going into this?
Well, I have to say I'm pretty sad because the holiday show is always my favorite, but I'm hopeful we're going to make this one the best.
Well, with a holiday theme, it has to be.
Well then, let's make it happen, Leo. Hello Normans, welcome to this week's Norman News. I'm Noelle Trost.
And I'm Leo Padilla. Keep watching for more news on school-related matters.
And winter formal.
Hi, I'm Eric Meridian, here of this week's sports and world news.
And I'm Alana Morgan with some holiday fashion and weather.
Around the school in 30 minutes, this is the holiday news. Christmas has always been controversial to a certain degree. Is it appropriate to put up Christmas decorations? Is it Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays? How ethical is Santa anyway with his thousands of likely underpaid and overworked elves? But these issues pale in comparison to the dispute surrounding Christmas trees. Here's the next biggest issue, the Christmas tree mafia. According to National Geographic, there is a gang of tree poachers in Guatemala that have bribed officials and paid communities to attack law enforcement officials attempting to confiscate poached trees. These poached trees are the endangered Guatemalan fir, which have become nearly extinct in the past century due to destruction and exploitation of timber for, you guessed it, Christmas decorations. But these traffickers go great lengths to hide their poached trees, from creating false compartments in truck beds to wrapping the trees in gasoline-soaked blankets to hide their scent. So, Normans, for this upcoming holiday, if you're gonna buy a Christmas tree, make sure to double-check the tag. You may have picked up a smuggled tree. Now to Leo with news on winter formal.
Thanks, Noelle. Hopefully, you've already picked out a dress and dry cleaned your suit, because this Thursday, December 20th, Winter Formal will be held at Mountain View Country Club, Los Angeles. Tickets are now $80 each and are available at the student store. You can purchase these tickets in person or online. All students that plan on attending the event must present IDs at the entrance of the event. For more information, visit the student store during lunch or nutrition. Now to Eric with sports.
Thanks, Leo. Last week, teams finished their last round of games in the Champions League group stages. There are many surprises about who made it out of their group by finishing in the top 2 of 4. This includes AS Monaco crashing out with just 1 point and a -12 goal difference after 6 games. Another surprise was the Portuguese team, Benfica, finishing behind Bayern Munich and Ajax. Real Madrid placed top of their group, but they lost the Russian team CSKA Moscow both home and away, who unfortunately did not qualify from their group. I can't wait to see what the Champions League round of 16 draw will bring us in terms of matchups. Now, let's send it to Nathan.
Thanks, Eric. Just this past weekend on Saturday night, LeBron James and Lonzo Ball of the Lakers set a record with 2 teammates having a triple-double in the same game. LeBron ended the game with 24 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists. Also, Ball finished with 16 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. This is the only time that has happened and is the 8th time in NBA history. All this work led to the Lakers winning against the Charlotte Hornets by almost 30 points, 128 to 100. Let's see what the Lakers pull off next. Now to Genevieve with more sports.
Thanks, Nathan. The league has started. The Beverly Hills girls varsity basketball team had 2 games last week, Wednesday against Lawndale and Friday against El Segundo. We've been good this year, so thankfully Santa has helped us win the game. Unfortunately, though, Santa had to get back to work, so we lost Friday's game. There will be no more games until after break because of the Fa La La holiday. So, I guess we'll just have to keep sleighing along till next time. Now to Alana with fashion.
Thanks, Genevieve. Hello, Norman. Before we get into the holiday spirit, as being your Miss Beverly Hills Teen USA, I must ask, did you see the newly crowned Miss Universe, Catriona Gray's stunning dress? Well, it was a showstopper as the dress represented the most active volcano in the Philippines. She definitely embodies what it means to be confidently beautiful, not to mention it was made by Mac Tumung. Guess what? It's almost Christmas break. Time to make sure you're completely done with Christmas shopping, and let's not forget about baking delicious holiday treats. Want some stylish last-minute gifts? I got you covered. According to the Los Angeles Times, some last-minute gifts that's great to buy is an Hermes skateboard. Yep, you heard that right. A monogram Ralph Lauren polo shirt, a Chanel No. 5 fragrance, and not to mention Jimmy Choo's new Meat Diamond Next Generation sneakers embellished in crystals. And if you really want to go above and beyond, just add the Jimmy Choo From Cinderella sets, which also has crystals with the dramatic spike heel. Now that's a glass slipper you don't want to lose. Happy holidays, Normans. Now to Kayla with some celebrity news.
Thanks, Alana. As you may already know, this past Sunday was the ultimate showdown on who would win one of the world's most magical pageants. Miss Philippines, also known as the angelic Catriona Gray, was crowned 2018 Miss Universe. Gray has a following of over 1.2 million on Instagram and was expected to do well going into the competition. She's famous for walking in slow motion, which has been nicknamed the Lava Walk. Gray was very jolly and happy to win such a wonderful title. That's all for this week. Now passing it on to Bella with music.
Thanks, Kayla. This week we're going to be talking about an old song, but an amazing one. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas by none other than Michael Bublé. Bublé does a cover of this song and people can't get enough of it. It's so popular that there are even memes on Instagram about him singing his favorite Christmas tunes. I am definitely all for it. Thanks, Michael Bublé, for your amazing voice. Now to Riley with her movie review on A Charlie Brown's Christmas.
Thanks, Bella. Unsure about which holiday movie to watch? Well, here's a list of the top 5 most popular classic holiday movies to definitely watch. The first movie is called A Charlie Brown Christmas. This movie is a typical Charlie Brown cartoon with a holiday twist. The second movie is Home Alone. This movie is a mix of laughter and love when Kevin's family accidentally leaves him behind while they go on their Christmas vacation. The third movie is called Elf. This movie is definitely a comedy as the one and only Will Ferrell is trying to be raised as an elf in New York City. The fourth movie is everyone's favorite, and this is How a Grinch Stole Christmas. And finally, the fifth movie is A Christmas Carol featuring Charles Dickens. These throwback holiday movies will for sure up your game this season.
Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about?
It's Charlie Brown and the Peanuts Gang, preparing to spend another joyous holiday together. Only this year, Charlie Brown is getting a little fed up with what seems to be the new Christmas spirit.
Find the true meaning of Christmas when money. Dear Santa Claus, just send money. We all know that Christmas is a big commercial racket. It's run by a big Eastern syndicate, you know. Good grief.
So Charlie Brown attempts to restore the true spirit of Christmas by buying a neglected little Christmas tree. But as is often the case with Charlie Brown,
Everything I touch gets ruined.
it appears that this Christmas may be a sad one. That is, of course, until the rest of the gang shows good old Charlie Brown that they haven't really lost the Christmas spirit at all. A Charlie Brown Christmas.
That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown.
Looks very festive, Riley. All right, Leo, winter break is upon us. What are some of your favorite holiday traditions?
Well, I've always loved going to Santa Monica at ice and ice skating for a couple of hours and picking out a Christmas tree. Those are some pretty all-time greats in my opinion. What about you?
Well, my family has a pretty fun tradition for Christmas Eve. We go to Pink's Hot Dogs to get Christmas dinner. The line is usually completely empty because everyone's at home.
Yeah, well, that's the perfect time to do it. Well, we hope you have a happy Christmas. Now to Eric with World News.
We have.
Thanks, guys. Last week, the European Court of Justice ruled that the UK can cancel Brexit without the permission of the other 27 EU members. There was supposed to be a vote in the House of Commons on Prime Minister Theresa May's Brexit plan, but she delayed it because she wanted to seek, quote, further assurances from EU leaders on how the border with Ireland would be handled. Even though this option to remain in the EU remains open for the UK, it would take a change of the heart of the UK government to make staying in the EU a political reality. Now to Jasmine with national news.
Thanks, Eric. The White House reportedly will not host a holiday party for members of the press this month. President Trump himself canceled the annual soiree, making the decades-old tradition a victim of his increasingly continuous relationship with major news organizations. Fox News reported Thursday morning, and then CNN, which Trump often slams as fake news, boycotted the event in 2017. A CNN spokesperson told HuffPost, in light of the president's continued attacks on freedom of the press and CNN, we do not feel it is appropriate to celebrate with him as his invited guests. We will send a White House reporting team to the event and report on it if news warrants. Now, Natalie.
Thanks, Jasmine. A new survey suggests that not everyone is satisfied with Santa's classic red suit and white beard. Some think that it is getting a bit dated. They used Google surveys to collect responses from 400 people between the ages of 18 to 25. Roughly 27% of respondents to the survey said they would prefer Santa Claus to be either a woman or gender neutral. Let's send it to Tatiana with the restaurant review.
Thanks, Natalie. Feeling in the Christmas spirit? Head down to In-N-Out and get their hot cocoa. Every year, In-N-Out spoils us by putting hot cocoa on their menu around Christmas time. This hot cocoa is truly delicious and it's only $2. It's cheap and delicious. Slay down to In-N-Out and try it out. Now to Jonah with technology.
Thanks, Tatiana. In September 2017, a company called Bird Rides dumped several hundred electric scooters on the streets of Santa Monica, California, kicking off the scooter sharing trend in the US. 14 months later, people are vandalizing those scooters and dumping them into lakes, and investors are losing interest. The explosive growth of dockless scooters and their contentious reputation was the surprise transportation story of the year. Bird and its main rival Lime are each worth an estimated $2 billion, and their popularity has given rise to over 30 scooter startups operating in an estimated 150 markets around the world. But as they head into year 2, investors are losing interest, while the business is growing increasingly expensive to operate, according to the Wall Street Journal and The Information. Vandalism and depreciation costs are also taking their toll as scooter companies struggle to get their newer, more rugged models on the street. The Information got a hold of Bird's pitch book in October, and while the numbers may be a little out of date, they suggest the companies are struggling to turn a profit. Now let's go to health with Yasmin.
Thanks, Jonah. The average weight gain for the holiday season is just 1 pound. While that might not sound like much, research shows we don't lose it, and that 1 pound adds up year after year. Feeling guilty after eating foods you don't usually allow yourself to eat can breed more unhealthy behaviors. So, abandon those negative voices in your head, give yourself permission to enjoy the indulgence guilt-free, and then remember to get back on track with your normal eating routine the very next day. Now to Bree with opinion.
Thanks, Yasmin. If you're going out of town for the holidays over break and are looking forward to seeing some snow, you're in luck because it looks like you might have some actual snow in the future due to this year's biggest climate talks. Diplomats struck a late-night deal on Saturday outlining how the world will push forward on plans to delay catastrophic climate change, closing out 2 weeks of intense negotiations in Poland. The main achievement of the COP24 conference was the reaffirmation of some 200 countries to their commitment to the Paris Climate Agreement signed 3 years ago, finalizing the rules that will set the historic 2015 Accord in motion. The outcome of the COP24 is an excellent achievement because it is a sign that countries are leaning into the global climate agreement, even as President Donald Trump has pledged to withdraw the U.S., which is the world's second largest emitter of greenhouse gases, from the Accord. While it can be discouraging because of how big of a problem climate change is, the newest deal is a roadmap for the international community to decisively address climate change and is a step forward in the right direction. Now let's send it back to Noelle.
Thanks, Bree. Everyone always thinks they know the basic facts of Christmas. December 25th, birth of Jesus, Santa Claus, and that's it. But did you know that Christmas trees, before being decorated with glitzy lights and giant ornaments, were adorned with fruits and nuts? Or that Santa Claus used to wear clothes that were green, purple, and blue until the Coca-Cola company dressed him in red to match their brand, and so he remains in that today? Speaking of red, do you know why we use so much red to celebrate Christmas? It represents the blood of Jesus. And what about green or gold? Green is meant to symbolize growth and life, and gold represents royalty and life. Now you definitely know everything about Xmas, except that the X in Xmas comes from the ancient Greek language and is supposed to refer to Christ, which is why Xmas means Christmas, Christmas. Whether you celebrate Christmas or not, it's still pretty interesting to think about. Now, let's send it back to Leo.
Thanks, Noel. This will be the last Norman news of the year. Winter break will be around 2 weeks from December 21st to January 7th. For more information, go to the BHUSD website or the school website for the official school year calendar. Now to Alana with weather.
Hello Normans, I'm Alana Morgan, back at it again with this week's weather forecast, Christmas edition. So make sure you stay tuned before you book your holiday trip. Don't get discouraged even though the week looks like it's going to be partly cloudy. Looks like the highest the temperatures we'll get this week is 75 degrees and the lowest is 53 degrees. However, you can look forward to today, December 19th, as it is sunny with a high of 73 degrees and a low of 54 degrees. On Sunday, December 23rd, there is a 10% chance of rain, so be prepared and make sure you prepare for those temperature drops because you don't want to get sick over the holiday break. Well, Normans, I hope you guys have an amazing winter break. Happy holidays. Don't eat too many cookies, and we will see you next year. Let's send it back to the desk.
Thanks for watching.
Tune in next year for more
Norman News.